In today's video, we're going to be learning about Bakugan support pieces and how to play them in battle. If you haven't played the game before, or are unfamiliar, I highly recommend you watch the video before this on how to play the legacy version of Bakugan. This video is going to cover all of the basics and core mechanics of the game that may be mentioned in this video, and are necessary to know before applying support pieces to the game. Before we begin, I want to let you know that I post Bakugan content regularly, and if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Now, let's get into the video. Before explaining what each support piece does and when to use it, it's important to first establish what a support piece is and what they are. So here's a brief overview of all the Bakugan support pieces we will cover in this video. First off, in the game Bakugan, a support piece is any additional playing piece that is not a Bakugan itself. These often look different from Bakugan and have a different shape or design altogether. They are used to aid a Bakugan before or during a battle. In order of introduction in the show, the first support piece to Bakugan were Trap Bakugan. They are easily identified by their different shapes and designs. Introduced at the tail end of New Vestroia and used throughout Season 3 are Battle Gear, which are also unique shapes that can be mounted onto most Bakugan. Mobile Assaults are bigger support pieces that look like this and have very unique and specific rules. More on that later. Season 4, Mechtogans Surge, introduced Baku Nano, which are very similar to Battle Gear except smaller. This season also introduced Battle Suits, which are also very similar to Mobile Assaults. And finally, Season 4 introduced Mechtogans and Mechtogan Titans, which are played in battle and used with an activator card to work. Again, more on that later. There will be timestamps in this video as well if you'd like to jump around and move to specific sections of the video, but we're going to look at all of these in order in more depth. Traps are the first support piece we will cover in today's video, and as mentioned before, they can be identified by their unique shapes and designs, often looking like cubes, pyramids, cylinders, or even ovals. In a regular game playing with a New Vestroia rule set, you may only have one Trap Bakugan in your deck, alongside your 3 Bakugan. This rule changes later on, so keep this in mind when deciding what rules you and your opponents want to play with. Traps may only be placed after a gate card has been flipped over, and the trap must match the attribute of the brawling Bakugan. From here, place the trap on the gate card to open it and reveal its hidden G-Power or hidden attribute. If a G-Power is revealed, this G-Power is added to your brawling Bakugan's G-Power. If an attribute shows up, this Bakugan is changed to that attribute. It should also be noted that some Bakugan have multiple attribute symbols on them. In that case, you may pick the attribute you want to change to. It should also be noted that Trap Bakugan do have ability cards that can assist them, just like Bakugan. So keep this in mind when building your deck. From what I understand, based off what this says in the rules, these ability cards do not interfere with anything just mentioned, meaning you can place your Bakugan down during a battle anytime. This also follows the rules of the show, so if you'd like to be more show accurate, this is also the way to do it. At the end of a battle, the trap goes in the used pile. Traps get moved to unused when all Bakugan are unavailable and need to be switched back over to unused, just like regular Bakugan. Let's use a quick example. We are in a battle where our Hammer Gorem just landed on the gate card Wyvern that an enemy was standing on. At the moment, our Hammer Gorem is at 480 Gs plus the 90 on the card, totaling to 570 Gs. The enemy Ventus Storm Skyrus is at 500 Gs plus the card bonus, totaling to 100 Gs. We ignore the gate card rulings because they are only applicable to the Bakugan Wyvern. At this point, we can place our Trap Subterra Metal Fencer next to our Gorem, which reveals the attributes Pyrus and Aquas. The gate card has the higher Aquas number, so we choose that, and now Gorem instead takes the Aquas attribute total of 150 Gs, giving him a grand total G-Power of 630 Gs, beating Skyrus and winning the battle. For a Gundalian rule set, the rules of the game have changed slightly, allowing for the use of 2 traps and 2 battle gear per deck. The rules for Battle Gear are a bit more complicated and sometimes need to meet specific requirements to be played. First off, each Battle Gear will come with a symbol on it to represent gold, silver, or copper respectively. These symbols have an impact on the G power of the battle gear, as well as impacting the rulings if landed on a gate card that affects the gameplay. Battle gear come with reference cards that are not to be put in the used or unused pile and instead kept nearby as, well, a reference, to see if any special rulings apply. Battle gear is played during a battle in your unused pile. It can be opened on the gate card or Bakugan, and you add the G power that is revealed to your Bakugan. Additionally, if your Bakugan's attribute matches either of the attributes on the reference card, you get that ability as well, or if the battle gear matches the gold, silver, or copper of the gate card, you choose one ability on the reference card to use in battle. All reference cards are very specific and niche, so make sure you pay attention to your reference card when using it. I should also mention that if you don't have reference cards, technically you don't need to use them. You can simply just place the battle gear on your Bakugan and add the Gs, disregarding the reference card altogether. However, if you want to play exactly like the rules, you will need reference cards. Let's take a look at another example. We are using a Chaos Aeronaut with 520 Gs, fighting against a Pyrus Helios Mark II with 540 Gs. The gate card is Spitting Fire, which gives Aeronaut 50 Gs, totaling to 570 Gs, and Helios gains an extra 60 Gs, totaling to 600 Gs. During this battle, we can play the battle gear, Battle Crusher, which matches Aeronaut's attribute to aid in battle. Keep note of this, as the battle gear doesn't need to match the Bakugan's attribute, but can affect the reference card. More on that in a second. Battle Crusher has 200 Gs, giving Aeronaut a total of 770 Gs, winning the fight. We can also look at Battle Crusher reference card if needed, seeing that I could gain an additional 50 Gs per gate card in my enemy's used pile. If the Helios was darkest, I could have also gained an additional 50 Gs. See what I mean about reference cards? Always keep them in mind. Another important note is that some reference cards will have a power level requirement, which can be found here in the top right corner of the card. This number reflects the amount of 1 gate cards you need to have obtained in order to use that ability from the reference card. So for instance, if your reference card has this number 2, then you will need to have won 2 gate cards to use the rulings on the reference card. Mobile assaults are played like traps and battle gear, but to be placed in battle they must share the battling Bakugan's attribute. You can have a maximum of 2 mobile assaults in your deck in substitution of traps or battle gear, so you cannot have 2 traps, 2 battle gear, and 2 mobile assaults. Bakugan gain Gs based on the reference card. If the battle starts on a gate card that does not match the gold, silver, or copper listed on the reference card, then the mobile assault is destroyed and removed from the game entirely. The Bakugan continues battling without it. Now let's jump into Mechtanium Surge, where the rules are generally the same with minor changes. If you play this version of the game, you are allowed to have 2 support pieces per deck. You may have any combination of trap, battle gear, mobile assault, battle suits, Mechtogan, Mechtogan Titans, and up to 3 total Baku Nano per deck. So starting with Baku Nano, you can have up to 3 Baku Nano in your deck alongside a trap, battle gear, or Mechtogan, Mechtogan Titan, or any combination of the above support pieces, including battle suits. Baku Nano may be placed on Mechtogan, Mechtogan Titans, and Bakugan. To play a Baku Nano during a battle, it must match the gate card's color of either gold, silver, or copper, and then G power is added to the Bakugan or Mechtogan. You may play any or all Baku Nano from your unused pile at any given time. So for example, you may play 2 gold Baku Nano in one battle. When played solely with a Bakugan, Baku Nano are removed from the game completely after a battle and cannot be used again. However, when playing with Mechtogans or Mechtogan Titans, they are put in the used pile after a battle. With Mechtogans and Mechtogan Titans, they are placed next to a battling Bakugan and must share the same attribute with the Bakugan battling, just like traps. The Mechtogan is then opened using its activator card, which reveals its G power. At this point, you are also allowed to add any Baku Nano to the Mechtogan to make it stronger. These Gs are then added to the battling Bakugan, and after the battle, the Mechtogans and the Baku Nano are all placed in the used pile and can be played again later. These same rules apply for the Mechtogan Titans as well. Battlesuits are very similar to mobile assaults. To be played, a Bakugan must match the attribute of the battlesuit. Just like Mechtogan, only one battlesuit may be played per game as well as your 2 additional support pieces. Battlesuits also come with their own reference cards that may be used if conditions are met. Battlesuits may be played with battle gear and Mechtogan, however cannot be played if your Bakugan is using a mobile assault. And that is every Bakugan support piece and how to use it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was informative in helping you understand how to play the game. If you'd like to see more information on this, check out the Bakugan wiki down below, as this is where I gathered most of my information. If you like what you saw, consider subscribing, leaving a like, or commenting what your favorite part of the video was. As I said in the beginning of this video, I post Bakugan content regularly, so if you want to stay up to date on all of my latest and greatest videos, hit that bell so you are notified as soon as I upload. My name is Jesse, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.